What is wrong with traditional climate policy? So when it comes to climate change or any environmental problem, we have to deal with free riding. So we have to be prepared for the situation that some countries would like to cooperate, while other countries will not. So this free riding means that there will be crowding out or carbon leakage. If the coalition decides to extract less or to consume less fossil fuel, the world price of fossil fuel will go down, and this will make it cheaper for other countries to consume more. If the coalition instead would like to extract less from the ground, the price will go up, and the free riders will find it optimal to extract more. So we have carbon leakage on both the demand side and the supply side. And Michael Hull's 94 paper showed how to balance the two leakages, but the problems are that we still have both types of leakages to deal with. In addition, the free riders will face a low price on fossil fuel, which means that they will have no incentive to develop or install green or substitute technologies. They will also find it optimal to extract the fuel that is cheapest to extract and not what is cleanest. The coalition would like to set a climate policy which not only affects the climate but which will improve in terms of trade. So international trade will be distorted by this climate policy. And finally, the coalition's climate policy may not even be time consistent, which is related to what some may know as the green paradox. So in the end we have to deal with a long list of inefficiencies. So then the question is there another way? And maybe. So consider the market for extraction rights or fossil fuel deposits, and suppose that the coalition is a player in this market. So what is the outcome? The outcome is that all these inefficiencies, which are just listed, they vanish, and in the model you reach efficiency, the first best. Why? The first part of the argument is very simple, because imagine that remember that there is a large number of fossil fuel deposits. Some of these are very costly to extract from, which means that the owner will expect a low profit from those deposits, and therefore the owner is willing to sell the deposit for a low price. If the coalition, the climate coalition, buys those deposits with the intention of conserving it, then you get less pollution for a low price. This was Peter Boom's argument from '93. So, as a secondary effect, which is my main point, the supply curve, which I've drawn here, of the selling countries is going to shift, and you will get a kink, and it makes the supply of that seller's country locally inelastic. If the price changes a little bit, the supply of this country will not change, since the marginal deposits have already been sold. This reduces carbon leakage on the supply side, which means that the climate coalition would like to shift its climate policy to the supply side by only regulating its extraction. There's no need to regulate the demand in addition, so consumers are going to face the same fossil fuel price whether in the coalition or outside. So marginal benefits are going to be equalized. And finally, this price is going to be quite high because the focus is on reducing extraction, which means that all countries will have a strong incentive to economize on the energy and develop green or substitute technologies, even those countries who are not in the coalition. So another question is, can this work in practice? And in fact, I think it may. Because the market for deposit or the extraction rights, it already exists. Multinational companies are trading in this market, and some countries like China and India are also trading in this market. And furthermore, we have already seen a similar market arise in recent years. Before we tried to boycott timber from tropical forest, but the problem was that the price just dropped on the timber and other countries could just buy the timber for a lower price. So now we instead try to save the rainforest by paying in certain countries to not cut. And this buy coal argument can explain why this may be a better policy. So where do we go from here? Which areas should be conserved? Well, actually I have no idea. I just hope that someone will pick up on the challenge because we need to estimate the supply curves, that is the marginal extraction cost functions, as well as the emission factor for different areas. Is the Arctic going to be a good candidate for conservation? Maybe. So also theoretically, the field is still wide open. So how does the supply side policy affect the incentive to search for new deposits? or to develop brown as well as green technologies. And how do we deal with adverse selection or the problem with asymmetric information? So perhaps some of those difficulties, maybe we'll face some of the same difficulties as we face when we design red contracts for the rainforest, given the similarity which I already mentioned. So we may have to deal with that, and the two research agendas on red contracts and on the supply side policies may be something we would like to merge.